Brussels seeking assurances from Jeremy Corbyn amid fears talks could be rendered completely useless if Prime Minister is ousted before their completion. Mr Corbyn said Labour was a government in waiting and was ready to take up the responsibility for Brexit negotiations following June's shock election result. Reuters B. Melville. EU Brexit negotiators have reportedly stepped up backroom talks with Labour amid concerns Theresa May will be ousted before Britain leaves the bloc. Brussels has been increasingly seeking assurances from Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn that he will honour commitments made by the Conservative government if he comes to power. It has been claimed EU officials have significantly increased the number of talks held with Labour since the snap election in June, in which Ms May failed to win an outright majority, according to the Daily Telegraph. Brexit talks. European Parliament says sufficient progress not made. Sources told the paper there had been a significant change in tone from Brussels since the result, with efforts being made to foster closer ties with Labour. Negotiators reportedly fear that talks may be rendered completely useless if Ms May is ousted from office before their completion. It follows Mr Corbyn's bold claims in June that Labour was a government in waiting and was ready to take up the responsibility for Brexit negotiations. In July, Labour held very frank talks with EU chief negotiator Michel Barnier lasting more than 2 hours. The Prime Minister weathered fresh calls for her resignation this week following a disastrous speech at the Conservative Party conference and claims more than 30 Tory MPs were plotting her demise. Jean-Claude Juncker. Britain needs a miracle to meet deadline for Brexit deal. Former party chairman Grant Shapps was denounced as the ringleader of the queue by loyalist MPs who rallied round in support of Ms May, but the extra support for Ms May has done little to quash speculation that her premiership may be short-lived. Conservative MPs told The Independent there was no compelling reason to replace the Prime Minister for the time being, despite her conference disaster, but admitted her position remained perilous. One former minister predicted Grant will fail, but suggested the failed coup could accelerate a leadership bid by a more serious player. The latest poll of who would make the best Prime Ministers saw Mr Corbyn encroaching on Ms May's lead in the wake of her Manchester conference performance. YouGov found she was still preferred over Mr Corbyn, by 36% to 33%, a 3-point lead down from 8 points 2 weeks ago. Reuse content. We use cookies to enhance your visit to our site and to bring you advertisements that might interest you. Read our privacy and cookie policies to find out more.